Hello, little explorers. Welcome back to Story Napz. I'm Samnang, and I'm so glad you're here tonight. Settle in with me. Soft blanket, favorite stuffed friend, and a cozy spot.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Hello, everyone. Lina here. Take a soft breath, open your imagination, and let the story begin.
Before we curl up, remember to ask an adult before touching any soil or compost. If you want to try an activity later, make sure a grown-up is there to help, and it's a daytime, supervised kind of thing.
Now, get comfy. Imagine your hands resting on soft earth, cool and quiet. Breathe in slowly with me, and breathe out, nice and slow. Deep beneath a sleepy vegetable patch, under a little hill of fallen leaves, lived Wally the worm. Wally loved the quiet, wiggling through soil, listening to the seeds dream, and turning tiny bits of leaves and kitchen crumbs into cozy, sleeping soil. Isn't that exciting? Wally's tunnel was warm and crinkly, like a blanket of brown leaves, and he hummed a tiny wiggly song as he worked.
One morning, the sprouts in the garden looked droopy, like they'd lost their dance. The carrots tucked under their tops, the lettuce yawned, and the little tomato plants blinked slowly. Oh my, thought Wally, the garden is feeling sleepy. Wally decided to visit his friends, Benny the beetle, who loved to be curious, Calla the careful caterpillar, and Toby the shy toad who loved quiet puddles. Wally slid up through a soft patch of soil and popped his tiny worm nose out. He greeted Benny with a little wiggle. Benny clicked his tiny feet and said, "Wally, I've seen crumbs and leaves. What do they do for the garden?"
Calla tucked her legs in and asked very carefully, "Do worms make the soil sleepy on purpose, Wally? Or do you help it wake up?"
Wally smiled. Well, he wriggled his smile and explained, "We don't make it sleepy. We help the garden wake up slowly. When leaves and tiny food bits settle, we curl around them, turn them, and that turns old scraps into soft, crumbly soil called compost."
How amazing! Wally's work is quiet and slow, but oh, so important. Worm tunnels help air move through the soil, and the worm's little soil castings are like tiny vitamins for plants.
Wally led his friends through a sensory journey. They listened to the gentle patter of fallen leaves, smelled the damp, earthy scent like a warm blanket of rain, and watched tiny crumbs nestle into the soil. Benny nudged a leaf and it crinkled like paper. Calla touched a crumb and it felt soft and old.
Oh, wow, that makes my heart happy. It's like a quiet concert under the ground. Tiny sounds and slow movements. Wally showed how he makes tunnels. The tunnels help water move down and air move through, so roots can breathe.
But then Benny looked worried. If the garden needs waking up, what if it never wakes? What if the seeds are too sleepy?
Calla bit her lip like she often did when thinking. "Everything is so slow," she whispered. "How can tiny things make a big garden happy again?"
Wally took a little breath, long and steady for a worm, and said, "Tiny things add up, one by one. Every turn I make, every crumb I tuck in, helps seeds find a softer home. You don't always see it at once, but the soil remembers every gentle thing we do."
That's a lovely idea. And here's a quiet fun fact. Worms don't have eyes like ours, but they can feel light and dark and know where to go. Their tunnels help tiny roots spread their fingers into the soil. And worm castings, those little worm leftovers, are super good for plants, like a tiny bowl of food for roots.
As Wally worked, the friends watched a leaf change. It started as a dry scrap and slowly folded into the soil, like a blanket tucking a seed in at bedtime. Then he clapped his tiny feet softly. "Look," he said, "it's like magic, but quiet magic."
If you're curious and want to learn at home, you can try a safe adult-led activity. Make a closed jar compost to observe decomposition from a distance. An adult can help put small bits of veggie peel, a few paper napkin scraps, and some dry leaves in a clear jar. Seal it and keep it in a bright, cool spot. Do this in the daytime and with a grown-up. No digging unless an adult says it's okay.
Or if you prefer something tidy and pretend, play a sorting game with a helper. Take toy fruit and leaf shapes and sort them into plant food and not plant food baskets. Talk about what might help the soil and what should go in the kitchen trash. Keep it small, keep it clean, and always with a grown-up.
Please remember, if you try something like this, check for allergies and have small cleanup steps ready. Wash hands, wipe surfaces, and put compost bits where your grown-up tells you to. And if you don't want to touch anything, that's perfectly fine. Just imagining Wally turning the soil is a wonderful, calming way to learn.
Back in the garden, weeks passed, slow and steady. Little by little, the soil grew darker and softer. The sprouts lifted their leaves like tiny flags. The garden didn't wake all at once. It yawned and stretched and then smiled. Benny, Calla, and Toby learned that patience was a kind of teamwork. Every small helper played a part.
What a lovely lesson! Tiny, kind actions help big things grow. I love that. Big hearts make brave helpers, just like Wally.
Let's take 2 slow breaths together to celebrate the garden. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. One more. In and out. Imagine the garden breathing with you, the soil soft and quiet, full of helpers doing their gentle work.
Thank you for visiting Wally's garden with us. I'm so proud of your curiosity tonight. If you liked this quiet adventure, tell a grown-up you enjoyed it, and maybe share one kind thing you can do for nature tomorrow.
If you'd like more stories like this, please subscribe so you won't miss tomorrow's tale. Until next time, keep dreaming. Big hearts make brave heroes, even in tiny gardens.
Isn't that exciting? Ah, that's so sweet. Good night, little explorers. Take one last soft breath and good night.